All right, everybody. That's I Beat Drum, and honored to have our brother Dan DeJosie with us here on the Subjective Perspective Show, episode 150. Now, listen, you may see a couple boards behind me. Also, want to pick up this cool board, which has these really nifty, which I actually got my toe. I bought a brand new set of toe hooks. This is the Dragon board. And we're going to talk to you, everybody, on this episode about old school snakeboarding out of New York, the Long Island, New York City areas. That's where my brother and I were born and raised, as well as my beautiful and brilliant wife, Lisa, and our families and all that good stuff. We have something that's really special in the history of snakeboarding. And snakeboarding is this thing right up here. I know for everybody listening on Spotify or wherever you are, you can't see this, but go to beawoke.com. And again, that's BEAWOKE.com. And you'll find the video in the archive section. It'll also be in video of the week for the next couple weeks. Also on our YouTube page at the Subjective Perspective, and you'll be able to check out a couple of these cool boards. So got the snake board right up here at the tip top. Just below that is my dragon board, the Shadow model. And Dan right here, who you can see for those watching the video right now, and you'll hear him in a moment, is probably the best old school snakeboarder to come out of the New York area. A good friend of ours, Jujo. We had a lot of great writers out there. Dan, my brother, I can tell you right now, I considered him the best. I seen what he was doing. Jujo, like I said, one of the greats out there as well. Dan, what's happening,
What's
man?
up?
What up?
What's up? Thanks for having me on.
Hey.
I got to preface this by saying that Jujo ripped, man. Jujo was sick, man.
Yes.
So,
Juge was sick, man. Listen, I have a clip here. We'll see Juge for a moment in an old clip from when we were skating in the Bronx, old Yankee Stadium, hopping the fences.
he was going for 900s.
Yeah.
I was still trying to get the 720s.
Hey, but you know what? You were getting them, man. You were getting them. You were hitting those 720s. You were hitting front flips, doing like 10-step handrails at Stony Brook University there's a picture of floating around somewhere. I have a video that we're going to watch, everybody, okay? It's our old video we put together back in the mid-90s. We were calling it slow motion. You'll see a lot of the tricks. We utilized 2 VCRs. I actually edited this in Rick's parents' house. Our good friend Rick Souls, creator of nyskateboarding.com. Give a big shout out to all the crew out there at NY Skateboarding. And this is back in like 95 or something like that, and these tricks were before their time. They're timeless. So what you're going to see Dan pull is literally, it's like ballet on the snakeboard. Dan, all these years that go by, and still, it feels like it's such a huge achievement what you were able to accomplish, man, with being able to pull all those moves, man. And we're gonna go through those, and we'll narrate the video so you can talk about them in a moment.
Sounds good.
So let me show you something though, man. So for everybody who is checking us out right now, if you're watching the visual, you're able to see a photo. This is Dan doing a double grab out in Southampton on the quarter pipe. Some kid out this back like 94, 95. Some kid out there just in awe. He's like,
yeah, that picture is sick because that kid in the background has his mouth open watching.
Yeah, he's like, what? Cool. Yeah, dude. Oh, and dude, look how much air you're catching, bro. I mean, it's just insane, dude.
Yeah,
this is our Team Liberty.
Yep, ignorance is bliss, man. When you haven't had that big real fall yet, you just go for everything,
Yeah, no, bro.
Now that I'm older, I would never try that, because I know what the outcome would be.
Hey, man, dude, you landed this one. I tell you landed a lot. That's, I think, why we were able to snakeboard for so long. Somehow we were staying on our feet, but we had some hard falls.
Yep.
And for everybody who doesn't understand the snake board, we had Jay Naumann on the show, and Jay is the captain of Dragon. Okay, you got Britton Gunderson, the mechanical engineer genius that's creating these boards. Boards are amazing. Get your Dragon board. Go to dragonboards.com, I believe it is. Google it. Go on to Instagram and social media. You'll find it everywhere. Go to check out our pages and just link to it from our social media. It's on everything. Because these boards, for any old school riders out there, these boards are incredible. I'm telling you, this snake board is about 8.5 pounds. I'm sorry, 8 pounds or so, I think it was. The Dragon board about 8.5. I mean, it was like barely, like no difference. And Dan, I know you've been riding the Dragon boards. We'll talk about that in a moment, but I just want to say this is our team that everybody's seeing on the screen right now. Team Liberty. A whole bunch of people up there. I know it's a little blurry. Let me. Oh, there we go. So we have the riders, obviously Dan, myself, our brother Tom. We got Matt Fabrizio. We got Jujo, obviously, Pat, Jeremiah,
Jeremiah. Yep.
Victor. We had a whole bunch of some other people on there. I can't even see that last bit. I think it was about the whole crew right there. If anybody I'm missing, Dan, please fill me in. But for the most part, I mean, again,
yeah, we had a lot of other skaters and riders ride with us, but I think that was the team that was going on, the demos, entering the competitions.
Yeah. Yeah, we were doing that early, man. We were doing that early. Oh, you know what? Let me ask my my other half of the show. Lisa TSP, if in a little bit she can grab the picture underneath the it's underneath the printer area in the office room there. And there's just two photos. If you want to grab both, they're in the framed photos. Old snakeboard pictures that I have here. But really, we were pretty much like the first people to get the snakeboard back in the early 90s, like 93-ish. And met Jujo like about 15 or 16 in Wallman Rink. First snakeboard competition we have been to. Kelly Dean was ripping. Jay Dean, want to say Jay Beatty. Want to say
Jay Beatty. Jay Beatty was, and Rob Nye. Those are the two guys. And you know what? And Kelly too. Kelly Dean too, from the West Coast. Like those are the three guys that I looked up to.
They shred
in riding because now I'm sure you're going to get into it more later. But Kelly had the Daily Trout.
Oh yeah, and that's where that comes from. That's where that picture comes from. The
on the quarter pipe.
Yeah, the advertisement. That's where it comes from.
Yeah.
And check out Dragon Cast through Dragon Boards with the interview with Kelly Dean. Talks all about it. Really,
I saw the interview with Kelly, and that's just really awesome. Actually, I didn't know him on a personal. I didn't meet him. I met him a couple of times, but never personally skated with him. But you see the videos. I think it was Hellberger or something like that. And you're watching these guys hitting these big rails, and you're like, "That's sick! I got to find a rail that big to do that," And they were awesome. As a 15-year-old, 14-year-old impressionable mind, you're looking at these guys like they're gods, and then you have the opportunity to skate with them a couple of times. Pretty awesome.
And we had
more so Pete and Rob. They used to come all the time.
Yeah, we had them crash at our house. Out Long Island, a couple times out there. They come out and have some good stories with those fellas too. We have and again, back then they were doing those misty flips. I have videos of it. Which down the road we'll do this again, and I'll look at old footage because I have old VHS tapes of like the Glen Cove competition, and when they were pulling like the big flips back when nobody was doing it.
I remember when Everyone else was like doing 360, like really tweaked out, like nose grabs, melancholies and everything. And then Pete Nye shows up and he does something called a 360 rocket, where like you jump up and lay up.
Yeah.
You almost like parallel with the ground and you touch your toes, and it just looked amazing. It looked like a helicopter going through the air.
That's right. Oh, it was crazy. And it was, again, the first time I ever saw the snakeboard was in the back of a bodyboard magazine. Kelly Dean just pulling some air. It looks like he's just popping just a big ollie, type jump. And I was just like, man, back in the early 90s, listening to like bands like No Effects and Sublime, when Green Day, when they were underground, when nobody would ever heard of them, when their early stuff was out, listen to all that stuff too. And then here comes Kelly Dean with like the Voodoo Glow Skulls and like his part in I forget which video it was, one of his early pieces. And yeah, it was awesome. I was like, all right, right on, like I'm digging this, like really was part of this whole alternative skate scene where when Extreme Games came out, you have all these, alternative sports. Snakeboard felt like it was this huge thing going on. And then you see all them pulling these airs, and then you start pulling these airs. And listen, I got the board like 93, got the cassette, the videotape, Can You Snake It Like This and stuff, right? And then right after, you got the board very shortly after. And then we just started riding, and we'd ride all over Blue Point, New York, to Stony Brook, New York. And, I remember when we skated the first X Games road show in Manhattan in 96, when the first X Games happened, we were invited to skate, you and I and the team, Snakeboard USA, and Kelly Dean came out with all the team, at Andy Cass, and again, everybody, I broke my wrist there actually, and me and Jay Dean went, and Jason Dean went walking around the main stage, which was on the water at the South Street Seaport, and there was a new band out called Tool. And we're just watching this band, right? Again, this is Tool, a huge band now. And we're just walking around. I got a broken wrist. I'm like, I don't care how broken my wrist is. I'm hanging out with Jason Dean.
Yeah.
You were ripping, pulling crazy grinds on that death box, man. But not to digress too deep, that was some of the stuff that we were doing early New York snakeboarding. A lot of it, no social media. Nobody knew what we were doing unless we were able to reach out to people. So I'd connect with people here and there. Met Kelly Dean a couple times, met him at Columbus Circle Civic Center, sent him some pictures. He's like, yo, man, we'll get you in the Trout. I was like, cool, man. He pulled a fat 360 flip. I was like, okay, this dude could skate. All right. I had Rick with me, Rick was skating. Mike Frazier was there. Matt Hoffman, Alan from New York's Skateboard USA hands me the mic. He's like, here, call some tricks. I'm like, okay, I'm calling a trick from Matt Hoffman. Like, okay, it's cool, So now listen, this is when we're young. We're like 16, 17. I mean, you're like 50. You're a year and a half younger than me or so. And you were just incredible, man. So listen, let's go into there's a cool picture here. I don't know if everybody can see this thing, man. This is like you in front of the house we grew up in.
Oh my God. Wow. That's an old one.
You see how much air you're catching?
Yeah. That's like 94, 95.
How much air you're catching?
I was 14, man. 15.
And that little me and up there in Hoboken.
Yeah, it's sick.
That's
pictures.
What we used to do, man.
I didn't even know that you had those. That's cool.
I made that at Bayport High School, bro. Put together a bunch of back when printers were brand new. Put a couple of photos on and a brand new color printer they had, man. That was like a brand new thing. This is one of the first pics, though, man.
I remember that one. That's in Sable, right?
Yeah, right behind the Carvel. I think Alex took that shot. Either Alex or Nick Arena took that shot. So Alex Heineman, the producer of a movie called Project X. Yep. That's amazing, man. Real cool, right? Got all these interesting things. All people just,
And Nick, who owns a tattoo shop that I got my whole sleeve at.
Did all my piece.
Yep.
Did my age
Awesome,
here.
awesome artist.
Yeah, he's real good. Always too. Always. So now listen, let's do this. So I want to go into the video. Let me share this. 2 seconds. 1 second. So everybody listening in, this is episode 150 of the Subjective Perspective Show. And this is our brother Danny DeJosia coming out of the North Shore of Long Island now, from the South Shore originally of Long Island. He's a barber. Check him out. I beat drum. He produces beats. He's incredible. And if you ever want to cut by him, Dan, anyway, anybody can go get a cut. How about this? Anybody tells you they saw this, give them 5% off or something like that. Give them a little diggity deal.
Yeah, I'll take care of him. How about this? How about if you want to get a hold of me, you go to LoveFades the barber on Instagram and DM me. We'll talk.
That's it. That's what it is. And it says underneath your name, Crystal DeJosia. That's obviously your wife. So big shout out to our sister-in-law, awesome little niece, Emmy, who has a play date soon. So we're going to keep you for maybe half hour or so now. All right. So just tell Emmy we said have a fun time today, please. All right.
Will do.
Day. How is it out in New York right now?
It's getting nice right now, about 60 degrees outside.
Yeah, good. Oh, just dropped my little. Oh, this is one of Mom's pieces, and I gotta.
We got the same one.
Put the. Oh, do we?
Yeah,
that's awesome. One. Sorry, try to do this. So right now, everybody listening in, I dropped my mom's. What is this called? A quilt? Not a quilt.
An Afghan.
Afghan it is, right? I thought it was Afghan. I always get those ones wrong. All right, that should be. So I'm trying to fix it right now, which I think is up. All right, good. We had Dave Amram on. Dave's like, hey, what is that? That thing's really cool. At the very end, I was like, oh, that's my mom's, man. Yes, I was like, it's cool. Listen, this is a video that I put together back in 95 in New York. And I'm going to show Dan's whole section. It's called Slow Motion. Okay. Now you could just Google YouTube Snakeboard Liberty, and this will pop up. It's a vlog on the Subjective Perspective vlog. Though the actual title of this video was Slow Motion. Going to start off with a couple wipeouts here. So this is our brother Tom with a pretty gnarly wipeout. Oh, actually me right here.
Right here, right?
This is me right here. This is me. This is me actually in Mattituck or something like that. Eastern end of Long Island. And I'm about to hit this ramp and let you all see what happens here. I'll narrate.
You're about to hit the ground too.
Yeah, I am. Yo, can you hear me okay on your side?
Yeah.
Cool. All right, here I go. That was me. That's Jujo. This is Juge. This is in the Bronx. There's Pat Sullivan. There comes Juge. There's me in Manhattan. That's just at some little fair in Manhattan. This is our brother Tom in Hoboken, Jersey. Notice that slam right there. His feet get taken out from underneath him.
Ooh.
Right there. Boom. That's Craig Companion now, who I think is one of New York's finest out there. All right, Dan, this is your part.
Cool.
There's Rick sitting on the ledge. I think Victor's there and Little Stevie.
I think that's Danny Clifford, right?
Little Stevie.
Ah.
Look at that monster set of steps you're jumping. What were you thinking?
That's Stony Brook College.
What were you thinking right before you jumped those stairs?
Speed. Get enough speed to clear the steps.
Those things were massive. Here, let me bring that back before you do this huge nose manual, which is crazy too. Bring it back for a sec. So right now let's bring it back once more. So everybody listening in up on the audio, go check out the video of this on our. Oh, let me show that how much speed you're trying to get right there too. You can really see yourself coming in fast here. You're just cruising in. And bro,
And, the trick with steps is just to make sure you get enough speed and jump at the right time.
there you are, bro, in the air. A set of steps that's hard to walk down. Pebbles
Yeah.
everywhere. Massive. This is one of the greatest New York pieces of snakeboard history ever. This is one of, I've never seen anybody else even attempt these steps, just so you know. If anybody, listen,
they look bigger in person for sure.
And listen, there's people out there there's pros out there that skate that are incredible. But I've never seen nobody attempt this set of steps at horseshoes, they call it, in Stony Brook University. And look how Dan just flies through the air. And then that old, as you put it down like that with your hands. I remember, Jay Beatty put it down like that. Like, yep. I always thought that your style was crazy smooth. Now here comes a nose manual that lasts for days here.
So those used to be one of my favorite tricks to do with it, just the manuals. They were fun.
Yeah, man. Dude, oh my gosh. We have some that are going to pop up soon. Your manuals. There you go. Here you go. This is at the Greek Church in Blue Point.
And the tricky thing about this is there's no running room. So you just
push off.
You're just leaping.
And you get on that 50-50. This is all like 94, 95. Like we were just street skating. Like
I think I was rocking Jenkos and Etnies shoes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Big time. There you go with, I think, a big 360 melancholy. There I am in the background. You were doing front flips off that other launch ramp next to it.
Front flip to 180s. Me and Matt Fabrizio, we were trying to get it.
That was in front of Matt's house. That's right. That's where Matt's family's was. Now you're going to pull some just nice. So again, everybody, this is called Slow Motion, the title of this video. You can find this on the Subjective Perspectives YouTube page. Just YouTube Snakeboard and Liberty, as that was our team back in the mid to late 90s. There you are, just pulling just those walls in Stony Brook was so fun. There you go, with the 50-50 on one of the rails here. Smooth, man. Oh, now this was over the Earth and Space Science building. This is just a fat melancholy you pull here, man.
With the old boards, you can really tweak out the bar,
Yeah.
And the new Dragon boards are sick too. I wish, well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I just got back into it, so we'll see how far we get.
Yeah. No, take it slow. This was 30 years ago. We're looking out of here, everybody.
Exactly.
This is going back literally like 28 years or something like that. So
it feels like it could have been yesterday.
It does. Feels like it could have been yesterday.
It was such a big part of our lives, skating every day for so long.
Oh yeah.
And then one day it was gone. It was crazy.
Yeah, the one day snakeboard was done. And as Kelly talks about it on the Dragon Cast, which I urge everybody to check out, it explains why. It was incredible as to why that was. Now, here this throwing a couple grinds here on this big ledge here. Here you are, I think, with the 360 rocket.
Yeah, with the rocket, yeah.
And that just takes so much flexibility, agility, and timing and speed, and just knowing the physics of it, man. Here, right in our old house here. This is a big melancholy here. Oh, 360 melancholy. There's Tom and old Sean in the back. Here you are with, I think, a melancholy to method.
Yeah, melancholy. Yep.
Which is a crazy trick. Now, this is all back in the day, it's like before people were doing all this, really. You see a couple of the big, name people pulling this on the West Coast or in Utah, wherever they may be from. Obviously, a lot of incredible riders from Europe and South America. But again, there was no social media back then. So the only time
Yeah.
you got to know of anybody is if it came out in the Daily Trout when Kelly Dean and his team put it out. Other than
Yeah.
that, how did you know? Nobody knew anybody.
No, it was the Trout and then the Hellburger videos.
Yeah, the videos. That was it. Hellburger. What was that other one, man? There was another one. Let's forget which one. It was Totally Committed. Totally Committed was the other one.
Totally commit. Yeah.
That was like with John Dean, Jason Dean, early on. And that's funny because we were three brothers, me, you, and Tom. And then you had them three brothers on the West Coast, and everybody shredded. So I was always like, oh, it's funny, man. Like, we were doing our thing out here. There's a nice method on the quarter pipe. Just smooth, man. Again, going back.
Yeah, that was a cool little park back then.
Yeah, that was Southampton. Oh, look at this double set you do. Look how big this
Love these steps. These steps are sick.
You bombed.
I remember that day.
Man. Dude, that was crazy. That was a massive double set. Portion Road, that was 540 right there. Super smooth 540. Back in the mid-90s, Long Island, New York. Early to mid-90s. Oh, let's see what you're doing here. Double grab 540. Again, every day we just be riding all around different towns, going on.
Yeah, you brought up a good point with the social media. If that was around back then, it'd be a different story.
Oh, and I mean, we were being asked to go, skate, shows all over the place. Again, yeah, social media would have been the way we connect. Now, this is a crazy nose manual to nose stall. Back to a nose manual. You never touched the ground, by the way.
Never touched the ground, and there's like no speed. And I must have tried that trick for a week, man. I couldn't get it. I finally get it here, and you could see my elation. I pumped my fist.
Oh my gosh, dude, that was
finally,
bro. I was like, dude, that's at the Firehouse in Blue Point, New York. Yeah. Piece of snakeboard history right there.
And you can't really tell from that picture, but you're going up a slight hill too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And there was pebbles everywhere. I think there's the final trick of the nice melancholy right there. Just have you nice and tweet that on that melancholy and just fade you out. And that is Dan's part. And that's the old, we had under the old network, all friends at Bud and Roach, we had that all set up, the old network there. I put that logo at the end when we were obviously rolling all our stuff with the old BNR network, and big shout out to the fellas out there doing awesome stuff as always. Now listen, let me quickly bring this to one trick I do here. So now this is me just going fakie, and then I just pull 180, fakie 180 to that nose manual. Then I just pull it on out.
Sick.
Pull out that front side 180. I try to get that going. And just like you pumped your hands, I pumped my hands, bro. I was like, yeah.
It's a cool trick.
Yeah. Dude. And again, I'm just gonna show a couple tricks here that so everybody can see a couple of ones that I pulled. This is me and Dan back in the day. So this is me pulling a 50-50 grind up on this one of the ledges. Not there anymore, these ledges over at the Javits.
They took them down?
Yeah, they crushed those. They're down a while back. I think it was Rick that posted it, or whatever was put up through NY Skateboarding, the team, of his that put it up. He has a 180 over this big fat gap in Islandia. Just love the feeling of launching, and then all of a sudden you're just flying in the air, and it's like you're either gonna land or you're not gonna. I'm like, I'm gonna land. Here's a 360 over these steps. There's at one of the banks out there in Islandia. You know what I'm saying? Like, we were pulling a lot of street, tricks with this, with the spirit of skateboarding, because we skated with skaters, and all our friends, all the people we knew, yeah, there were snakeboarders that we put them onto it, but you know, everybody was skateboarding. So we have a very New York skateboard oriented mindset. You know what I'm saying? That's where we come from with the people that we knew. Hanging with all the people we hung with. So that's why, we pull a lot of grinds, a lot of big fat airs, a lot of tweaks, a lot of just manuals and just really when Kelly said that in that interview on the Dragon Cast that he thought snakeboarding should be like old school skateboarding, like a lot of those carves and a lot of those real cool tricks, with a mix of that like snowboard. Like we really pulled it. Oh, this was a competition in Glen Cove. Pulled the little 360 there on that one. Let me stop this share for a hot second. So now bringing us out. So that was you 28 years ago, man.
Wow.
Pulling incredible tricks, bro, on the snakeboard. If I can get it. So now this, I actually put this together from two boards from I got on eBay. One is the Skinner, the other one is the Browser. And because the washers or whatever these things are, right? These are hard plastic.
The shocks.
Yeah, the shocks. So they don't disintegrate. They're attached to this. They're one piece with the plate. It's called the Browser board. So, dude, this board, oh my goodness gracious. If I never would have broke my strap, my heel strap, I couldn't find another one. I never would have looked out for other boards. So when I got my Dragon board, if I can get this on down well, again, look how easy it is to pick it up. Super light. Love the graphic. I love gorillas, first off. And just a sick graphic up with the peace sign. It's supposed to be the N for dragon, how the backwards N. And Jay talks all about the word dragon and what it actually means and represents, because it's not dragon as, dragon, but it's very, very cool. This board, dude, the neoprene bindings, absolutely. Yeah, shout out to streetboarding.com for sending those over. Shout out to Britton Gunderson and Dragon Board for sending this wickedly cool board over. So how you dig into streetboard, bro? I saw you post stuff on your Instagram. You said LoveFades is your Instagram title.
Yep, LoveFades the barber. But as soon as you type in LoveFades, LoveFades, I'll be the first guy that pops up.
Yeah. And you popping 360s on the hips over at Pyramid over there in Riverhead, Long Island, man. And yeah, I was like, dude, it was a nice 360. How did that feel doing that, man?
It was fun. It felt good, and it felt good just to be at the skate park, to be honest with you. It was something I haven't done in, I think, 22 or 23 years. I haven't been to a skate park.
Isn't that crazy?
And yeah, it was smooth. The board is awesome. I don't know if you saw it, but there was a video. I think the writer's name is Alex Villanueva.
Oh my goodness.
That kid is amazing.
Shreds.
But super creative with the edit that they put together.
Crazy.
It might be Alex Nueva. That might be his
Villanueva. Yeah. It's dude.
Villanueva.
That might be when he does the snowboard streetboard montage. Oh my gosh. It was brilliant. Brilliant.
Yeah, and Sergi.
Sergi's the man. I met Sergi, bro, in New York City like 5 years ago. And I knew he was going to be there. We got the link up. And I took the train in from the family's house out in Long Island. And went up to Strawberry Fields, Central Park, New York. And met Sergi there. Did a really cool interview, which is on our page. And then we walked through Manhattan, and really crazy, bro. Sergi shreds. Alex Villanueva shreds. all these people, Britton Gunderson, everybody that we're seeing on the Dragon Board team, Jay Naumann, the whole everybody on that team, they
Yeah.
shred and they got style, and it's cool because you have some younger people, but you have a lot of people more in our generation, our age, also from like the '90s, that are keeping this and creating this new avenue. And I think
Yeah.
it's something that could be massive. I really do. It feels so good riding the dang. I got the cruiser board and the shadow. The cruiser board is nuts. I ride this through mountains. I ride this through Big Sur. I ride this through the coast of California. Uh, it's just, and these trucks are nuts. I'm actually, dude, you do the dragon race, because they have the race where I find a big parking lot here and I do big massive laps, and the next is a 5K, like about 3 miles. I did the 2K. I thought it was 2 miles, but it was really only 1 mile, 1.1 miles or so. But I did 2 miles, so I did way more than I had to. So I had my score took forever, and I hit a pebble. I fell, never stopped the timing. So my time went crazy long, but I'll try to get a good time this time. But the Dragon Race is a really cool thing they're doing. Go to hashtag Dragon Race, DRAGAN, everybody, and get yourself a Dragon board. Be part of the race. Yeah, Dan, if you do it, man, if you have an area where you can ride like that, like that's why for me it's easier to find these massive parking lots in
Yeah.
California here, because I can do huge laps and get my 3 miles in. It's a little harder riding through this town because, just different roads, maybe super choppy or whatever it is, farm, more country, So it's not as total suburban, where it may be all smoothly paved roads. So more towards the city central, we would get that. But that's why, man, like, if you do the Dragon Race, dude, you'd kill it, man. You'd rip, dude.
I'll check it out. Yeah, I'll check it out.
Dude. So what do you think with what you do with the Dragon board? What do you want to pull? What are you looking? What are you
Yeah,
looking
I
to
mean, I
do?
think right now, at age 41, I think, just getting comfortable with riding again. It feels like the old snake board. It really does. It's awesome. Super lightweight. Um, maybe get into some grinds again, quarter pipe, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Hit some rails. I'm not trying to do anything crazy right now, but I love watching it on Instagram and watching what all these guys are doing.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Oh, isn't it crazy? Watching them just like
I
fly.
love it. I love that the sport is actually still going.
Yeah. And it's evolved to a great place where you have rippers that are really, holding it down for the
Yeah.
of the sport too. That's why I think it's so important that New York snakeboarding, the history of it, where it started, with yourself, myself, Jujo, Pat, but I met Jujo really early on. We met Juge back in like 94, 95. So that's when I first saw Kelly Dean and all them. We saw Kelly over in Central Park, New York City. And, this is all the beginning of what streetboarding is now, for when people are riding on streetboards in New York. They have to know the history really stems from snakeboarding and what you were doing early on, just as we just saw with the slow motion video, just shredding, and what we were doing, man, going all around the Northeast, doing trade shows, doing competitions. You were in magazines, Daily Trout, several times for placing, obviously for the team issue, which I just showed. And that's why, man, you are streetboard history, bro. It's nice to see that Brinton and Jay Naumann and their whole team, they're rocking this, because it's something that was more than just a sport. It was like an aspect
It,
of who we were.
it,
An
it
extension.
was a lifestyle and a culture within.
Yeah.
You got to remember. You mentioned about Kelly Dean before with like the punk rock scene. and like the hardcore scene and all that. So it was a culture, and like where the music kind of fused with, riding and, skateboarding and stuff like that, inlining, biking, and BMXing. And then here comes along this snakeboard that fuses skating with snowboarding, and you're strapped in and you can go for these big airs, and it was fun. It's cool to be like a very, very, very small part of its inception. To see where it's at now, it's cool to be like, you know what? Back in the day, we used to rip too.
Yeah, we were sure. Dude, sponsored actually on a team in New School with Frank Gurwer. Frank Gurwer was on the team. I have the flyer floating around somewhere. And got Frank Gurwer of Shorty's, one of the, find him on Thrasher. I mean, he's you know what I'm saying? I remember talking to Frank right there in New School. Everybody that would come in, man, we be, just part of that, like you said, that culture, that scene of the mid to early mid 90s. By the late 90s, I was going to college, and life was becoming life in a way where I would have my board on me, but I wasn't able to skate as much. Time was really utilized in so many different ways to be doing what I'm doing now. And that's why now that I put that time in, and I always had my boards with me, and always had my magazines, and always watch my vids. Now that we're able to get these Dragon boards, we're able to, jump on these. It makes it feel like, time really didn't fly by so much. Like when you were cruising, it feels like, man, like, I just want to ride, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like,
definitely.
So, like, listen, I know you got about another 5-10 minutes, and then you got to get going. And you got to bring your daughter out there.
Play date. Yep.
Play date.
Just got a play date.
So two things. So listen, two things. You got a lot of tattoos. You want to show any of your ink?
I'll show you what's on my hand because it's only exposed right now. But that's my food dog, and a food dog represents prosperity and good fortune. So, and this girl Patty Dove, in Nassau County, did that for me. I think she did a great job.
So cool.
And I got Buddha tatted on me. All
pull your
all
sleeve
good,
up.
positive stuff. What's that?
Pull your sleeve up. He got his whole body done. Really great work. Yeah.
So there's a lot going on here, but Buddha.
Yeah.
Hanneman, he represents courage and strength. And my
That's
food dog.
That is rad, man. And you got a back piece too.
Yeah, on my shoulder, but I'm not showing that right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it says
sick,
bro.
Good
that's
piece.
The one that we all have. It says.
Oh yeah.
Ad astra per aspera.
That's right. Which I actually have. If you could see it.
Yep. Ad astra per aspera. To the stars through our struggles.
That's it. And the poem from Hunter S. Thompson about Jack Kerouac. And it's a really, really, really good one that I got that from. Yo, listen, bro. So I know you got to bounce in a hot second, but I want to make sure I had you on. This is episode 150 of the Subjective Perspective Show. This is Danny DeJosia, barber extraordinaire, coming out of Long Island, New York. Go get your hair cut. I got to get out there. We're going to get our hair cut out there. You know what I'm talking about? We're going to kick back.
Let's do it.
Listen, and for real, man, like, everything about snakeboarding and streetboarding, for everybody watching this, check out that slow motion video again, stay linked to what Dan's doing, because honestly, for all you streetboarders and snakeboarders out there, when you think about New York City, right? One of the craziest cities in the world, biggest cities in the world. We were rolling around out there on our snakeboards in the early to mid 90s. When you think of the Hamptons, one of the wealthiest places in the world, right? We were rolling around there on our snakeboards. When you think about working class streets, Long Island, working class streets, America, we were rolling in those. From goodness gracious, from the projects to the skate parks, we'd be rolling around. And when when we were skating the X Games, you were over at the Brooklyn Banks, I think, too. You rolled out to the
Yeah.
Banks. What were,
Yeah,
you, what, what were you doing at the Banks, man? Because I was back skating. I remember I was snaking through Manhattan with whoever I was, I think Juge and whoever else. And then you are with a whole bunch of other people. Were you with the Cali crew? Some of the Cali skaters?
There was, I forget who was there, to be honest, but I think Fabrizio might have been there with
Maddie
me.
was there. Big shout out, Maddie Fabrizio.
And we went to the Banks, and there was this set of steps that like were a little bit away from where the Banks were.
Yeah.
And no one wanted to hit it.
With the roll step, with the roll in.
And no one wanted to hit it. And I think it was 12 or 13 steps. And I was like, you know what?
Did you hit those?
I hit it. And
yeah.
I landed it, and I made it. And everyone,
I thought so. That's the famous set. That's the tell me what the skaters did, bro.
And all the skaters, you know, they were taking their boards and they were banging against the ground.
Dude, probably
again, I was like this kid that just didn't have any fear.
Dude, no doubt, dude. No doubt.
You have to have a little bit of you know.
Oh, dude, you had to be fearless, bro, back then. Dude, yeah, exactly. We just went for it. Dude, I remember you saying that. You hit those, bro. Because that's the famous set where people no slide. Harold Hunter used to do crazy stuff there. They have big competitions there. That's that famous set of steps at the Brooklyn Banks. And you probably saw some of the Zoo York team because they came and skated the ramps, if you remember. Harold Hunter, who passed away. Rest in peace, Harold Hunter. Peter Bishi, who's in the movie Kids, and you know, one of the, again, you know, some of these guys and gals, you know, Rick knows from NY Skateboarding now doing his thing. But they were all skating those ramps. They hit those ramps for a hot second. So they probably saw you, man, over at the Banks, and they were like, yo, there's something going over there at the, you know what I'm saying, over at the South Street Seaport. And, you know, dude, we skated with a lot of big name people, all the pro Snakeboard USA team to Zoo York was started skating. All the
I remember we were at the Northport skate park. And there were a couple of pros there that day.
Yeah, number 9 team, bro. The number 9.
Was that what it was? Yeah, I think so. Dan Ott was on that team, right?
Dan Ott from Bayport, man. Yeah. Yep. And he drew for one of those companies, Chapman Skateboards or something like that. And I remember him, Chappie, in Babylon. Oh man, I got this book in the back that I got pictures of you, where you're pulling sick tricks on this half pipe in Babylon. Remember that half pipe?
I remember that. The guy's backyard.
In the dude's backyard, bro. And the guy would just let us go skate it. And we'd be there all day. You know, we'd be young kids out there. This older dude who'd just be skating. And Chappie, who made Chapman Skateboards, also, what was the other company? Whatever it was, Chapman, which was obviously very big, from Brentwood. He called it Bentwood from Brentwood. I thought it was cool. I remember Chappie was there one day. I'm skating. You know, I pull a big fat 360. You know, hits over the coping, which was nice. And he's like, yeah, man. You know, I was like, cool. So, like, listen, me and you skated with a lot of pros, skated with a lot of big time people, met a lot of people. I remember getting Steve Caballaro's autograph, you know, and then having Cab on, bro. You know what I'm saying? On a couple months ago on this season of the show, which you're on. So a couple episodes ago, like 4 episodes ago, we had Steve Caballaro. And then, you know, talking to Cab about all this. You know, Cab calls up one Sunday, early days, like, yo, Nick, what's up? Call me back. It's Cab. Let's do it.
Wow.
Do it, bro.
Yeah, he's a legend. He's a legend.
Cab's the man. And Christian Hassoy also just an incredible dude. You know, we had him on the show. You know, Jay now.
I think Steve Caballero was doing a demo or something at Rick's Surf Shop.
Yeah. Doing
I
Rick's Surf Shop.
I don't want to say it was him. I think it was
That's where I got the autograph at Rick. Mike Valley was there at one of Gershon Mosley.
Yeah,
94, 95. And Stacy Peralta. No, not what's his name? Not the creator of Dogtown and Z Boys. Another person. Forget his name. I apologize, but another ripper. You know, just amazing. So we we did our thing on the snakeboard, brother. But also, just to sort of wrap it up for a hot sec, I want to go into a musical video for an outro to the commercial break. You became a barber. You're an incredible barber. You're also a musician, incredible producer of beats. I Beat Drum, everybody. Check out I Beat Drum. We played a piece leading into this, but I want to go into a music video by my brother Dan right here, Dan DeJosia, and our cousin Sal. And this is with Rum Row Poets. And this is a song titled 100 Proof. Awesome song, awesome video put together by our brother Tommy DeJosia, and we're gonna go into commercial break in a moment with this. So Dan, listen, bro, I just want to say thank you for making time on this beautiful Sunday in Cali here on
I
April 25th.
appreciate it. Thank you for having me,
dude.
Appreciate
let's do
it.
this again, bro. In a couple episodes, we'll figure something out. Maybe what we'll do is have you on and someone like Victor Merstig, or someone like Kelly Dean, or someone like Jay Naumann, or Robbie Nye, or something.
I was actually talking to Victor Merstig through.
I say Victor because I know you got to connect with him.
Yeah. Just kind of
he shredded. Victor shredded on those
reached
videos.
Out and just was giving my feedback about the board when I first got it, and it was cool, but definitely a flashback. But I want to say before I get going, to look out for some content, because Tommy said he's going to videotape me, put a little thing together from me skating.
Yes.
Hit the skate park, and once I got my pads on, I'll probably go for some moves. We'll see what we come up with. But
I won't even show you my toe, bro. But my toe's getting better now. I'm not even going to show you right now. Had a gash my toe because I was riding here in our house with no shoes on, and literally just board fell, and I cut my foot on the top of my toe hook because I didn't have any shoes on. Silly me. And if you're riding in the house, make sure there's no carpet around that could stop you. That's what happened. I hit a piece of carpet and I just went flying. So yeah, those pads. And I took a couple spills here and there, which I had my pads on, thank goodness. So I was like, all right, cool. Listen, again, we're going back 30 years when we started. 93 got the first boards, and this really, 92 first knew about it. So we take it slow, man, and it's all about the style on these boards. Like these cruiser boards are meant.
It's all about cutting back and forth.
These are meant for cruising. Dan, these big fat wheels, bro. Oh my goodness.
So I got my
nice.
I put my punks, my old school punks.
Yeah.
Remember there was the Shamrock and the punks?
Yes.
So the punks, the wheels that come with the Dragon board are very nice, but they're a little bit smaller.
Yeah.
And so I threw the punks on a little bit bigger.
Awesome, bro.
And the ride is just exactly like it used to be.
It's just
phenomenal.
Smooth.
I got the team board, the gold and black one, the
Such
Dragon
a rad board. So rad.
I'm telling you, I'm riding it everywhere. I ride it every day.
Yeah.
And I ride it around a lot of people. And everyone's always like, how the kids always are like,
oh yeah,
whoa, what's that?
Oh, dude,
I always say dragonboard.com, DRAGAN, Dragonboard, because it'd be cool to see like a lot of people around here.
Dude, totally, brother. Well, listen, man, you're doing your part, man, just for the community, giving beautiful cuts. Your work you do is amazing. Your clientele.
I love what I do. Dude, what I do doesn't feel like work.
I know. It's an art, bro. It's an art form. And that's why, man, now that you're on that street board, goodness gracious, just enjoy that ride, bro, because you are a huge part of streetboard history, snakeboard history, especially New York City, Long Island snakeboard history. You're the beginning, man.
1990s. It was a different time back then.
You know it. Yo, listen, we tried getting in touch with Jujo. We've been trying to search him out. Found a number. I texted it. Didn't hear back. I'm going to give him a call in a little bit because it might have been a landline. It's a number in Brooklyn, but Lisa, found it. And so now we're going to try to, going to give it a call. If it's him, Dude, you know we're gonna try to get Jujo on, man. Forget
If
it.
you get Juju on, that'd be sick.
You saw the video when he fell, right?
Was that the 900 that he was trying to do?
He was doing like a nose grind on this like 8-step handrail, fell on his back, broke his back. All on video. All on video, bro.
That's what happened to me. I was on a 5-step handrail at Suffolk College, and I wanted to get on the rail and then 180 off. But there was a crack at the very top of the step, the first step, and I used to hit this rail a million times before, but that crack was never there. And I hit the crack, get on it, fell down and compounded my spine and fractured my L2 vertebrae. But what happened to Jujo was I had a hairline fracture. That's but everyone has falls like that, you know.
Yo, we have them, man. We had them when we were young. Now we wear those pads, take it light, and you know, we just know. I think it's about that style. You know, just smooth cruising, throw a little manual down, you know, maybe hit a little rock and roll on a quarter pipe, you know, because again, got nothing to prove, man. We did our riding way back when, and lucky to say that we were part of something that has now evolved to street boarding and what Dragon Boards has put out now. So
and not for nothing, the boards back then were awesome too. I loved it. But the Dragon board now, it's a little bit wider. It almost, so there's more stability too. Yeah. So I feel like I fall less now, even though I haven't rode in 20-something years. But then again, I'm not really killing the tricks right now. But it feels more stable than the old one did.
It does, man. It really does.
Just because of the width of it.
It's so true. It's very true, bro. And I felt that same thing. And I just love it, man. If I had this back in the 90s, I'd be pulling board slides like crazy. You already know we were trying to.
I was doing that anyway.
You were doing it anyways, man. We got pictures of it. You were doing it, bro. I know. Yo, listen, we'll do this again, couple episodes. And we'll,
thanks for having me on.
We'll figure some more stuff out with content and get some new tricks on your street board. And we'll have a good time. And like I said, maybe we'll get someone else on and do a little, you know, 3 of us rock and roll, talk about some skateboard stuff here. Street board nowadays. Listen,
you know what you should do is you should get round up some of the team members, you know, from back in the day, you know, try to get Jay, try to get Victor, try to get Kelly, try to get all these people.
Yo, we can try.
Kind of give their little Zoom meeting.
Yo, we can make this happen. We'll find some of the crew, brother. Yo, I'm gonna find somebody. Don't worry. I'm gonna find somebody. It's gonna be good. We're gonna have a little Team Liberty, 1990s back. Yo, bro, listen, want to go into Rum Row Poets, 100 Proof. Where this song, you know, when you put this out and, you know, what's going on in this song?
So I made that beat, sent it to cousin Sal.
Great beat.
He wrote lyrics. I wrote lyrics.
What's Sal going by? Salvato?
Salvatore.
Salvatore, yes.
Salvatore. Yep, that's Sal Agostino. And he actually has his own studio, Salsa Studios, with cousin Sarah, his wife, and
big shout out.
And he's putting out some really good content right now. He works with this other producer as well, this other MC, Big Vito. Yeah, and this beat right here is
check him out.
I think it's 2018, a few years ago.
Wow, 2018. It was a different world. 2018.
Could have been 2019. Could have been 2019. I forget the year.
Yo, listen, let me go to it really quick, Dan. 1 second. So now what I'm doing, everybody, I'm going to bring it up on my side. And Dan, I'm just going to type in Rum Row Poets right into my YouTube. I know everybody can't see this right now, but you will see this in one moment. And I'm going to share the screen in a hot second. Here I go. So now I want to go into our commercial break, I should say, with 100 Proof, Rum Row Poets. This is Danny DeJosia, Salvatore coming in with a music video that I think you're going to really enjoy. Yo, Dan, what do you want to leave everybody with? Final thoughts for now? Oh, listen, I didn't get to really ask you a lot of questions for this interview, but when we have everybody on, as you know, I always like to ask 2 main questions. I'm going to answer this one. First question: favorite book and author, and or favorite movie and director?
I'll give you both. Favorite book and authors by far Charles Bukowski. I'm probably getting his mug on my other hand. Favorite writer by far. And I mean, you can throw any book out there, but I love his poetry stuff too. Probably women. Favorite movie is either The Wrestler or Whiplash. I don't know who the director is, but whoever did it did a good job.
I've seen Wrestler. Wrestler's a great movie.
It's a great movie.
Didn't see Whiplash.
You didn't see that? It's a
no.
Watch that tonight with Lisa. It's a must.
All right,
it's phenomenal. Mom and Dad checked it out, and they said they liked it.
Oh, is that with the drummer?
With the drummer, yeah. He goes to like a Juilliard for drums. It's pretty cool.
They loved it. Mom and Dad loved it. They told me about it. So, all right, so we'll check that out then. I'll let you know what I thought. Oh, which I know I'm going to love it. It's going to be incredible. So now, last question. Everybody, the only person who never answered this was Graham Hancock, because and you could hear this at the end of the episode. Graham, he was like in Northern England, and we had this is back when we first started our show back in 2013, and we were just sort of on a Wi-Fi signal, sort of in Menlo Park in the heart of Silicon Valley, no Ethernet, not even, long story short, trying to get this signal to work, and it was going in and out, but the whole interview was great, but at the very end, Graham's like, I can't hear you. And I was like, Graham, it's okay. I'll catch you later. So he's the only one to never answer this. Every other person we've had on the show has answered this. That question you just asked, I asked you, and this one. The question is, Dan DeJosia, barber extraordinaire, producer extraordinaire, what is your favorite color? And
the color is green.
Okay. Cool.
Green.
And green, I always ask why. Any reason why?
Just like it.
Hey.
Color of money.
Hey. Money's not a bad thing. Money works. Hey, listen, let's go into the music video. Ladies and gentlemen, check him out. LoveFades Barber, right over at Instagram, social media. And again, go to our social media and you'll link to him from our social media. Dan, you already know you're the man. Love you, bro. Let me
appreciate it, man.
Go into your music video. Gonna share it right now.
Only the realest will feel this, making me blatantly spit the truth. I ain't hating, see 99% of your problems I can solve them. Stick them on a paper with acid, watch it dissolve them. The planet's revolving within the belt of comets. The problem on Earth, success is a labyrinth led by the goblins. I ain't waiting no more, God bless me with a talent. So instead of getting violent, I'ma move my pen and stay silent. I'm more than ready, like Flex, steady ripping the needle. Every ounce of me ready to be a rocker like Marty Jannetty. The best advice that I ever took was, be selective in who you trust. There's a thin line between being respected or a bust. There's 1,000 other artists out there making a buzz. Be innovative, creative, give it everything you made of. If nothing ever comes from it, at least you stay real for real.
Real recognize real, real recognize real. Real recognize real, real recognize real. Real recognize real, real recognize real.
I would, was no good. This me, back then, all real, all in, still the same. Just made some changes to this ruthless game. You might think you know me, but nah, you don't really know me. It's real cats that get daps, no pounds for the phony. I've met so many that will put their life on it. It was all about surviving, I didn't think I'd ever live. That's how I make some sense out of all them grimy things I did. I'll keep you in my thoughts to all the ones that ain't survived this thing. To the ones remaining locked away, we knew the risk of the game we played. We saw my people's the best, nothing less. Some are dirty, some blessed, they hustle nonetheless. The real, this is smell the gun smoke on the rail. Honestly, I think it takes some time to learn from pain. Took some different roads, played some different games. Some had to change, some remained the same. I see you. From the box to the blocks, old and even new spots, I see you. From the bottom to the top, streets to the rooftop, I see you.
Bring us out. Let me get my vocals back. Yo, Dan, that song,
Sir,
incredible. Ladies and
thank
gentlemen,
you, thank you.
you just heard it right there. That's IB Drum, Rumrow Poet, Salvatore, 100 Proof. What I'm going to do, I'll bring us out of the outro. Dan, you can sign off whenever you want because I know you got that. Get to that play date. Give our love to Crystal and Emmy, and I'll give you a call a little bit, man. All right? When I get this
Peace.
all
All
set
right.
up. Yo,
Thank you for everything. Take care.
Danny DeJosie, a Snakeboard, New York City, early mid-90s till infinity. Always doing
Keep
it.
ripping, keep ripping.
Showtime.
Peace.
Brother. Love you, kid. So
Yep.
now that is episode 150 of the Subjective Perspective Show. And we are, honored to have had our brother Dan on, as you just got a nice insight into snakeboard history coming out of New York, the New York City, Long Island area. That's where we were, and that's where, we made our, stomping ground. Always be in us. And as we've heard it, I think may have been Old Blue Eyes. If you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. So that's where we took our skills we've learned and we've moved forward and we've applied a lot of what we've learned to the world around us in those early streets of New York. That's my brother Dan, proud to call him my brother, our brother, Lisa TSP and myself. And this is a piece that I thought was very important to do. Streetboarding is such an incredible sport. Urge you all to get into it. Get yourself a dragon board, and I'll pick my dragon board up once more. I'll pick up my shadow this time. Love this board. Absolutely a phenomenal masterpiece of a board that Brenton Gunderson put together. Dragon Board team, big shout out to you all always. And of course, episode 150 wouldn't be a complete piece if I didn't make that point to you all, if I didn't remind you all that you have the power not only in yourself, not only to make changes in your life, but to make those changes in the lives of others. You have incredible talents within you. If you've ever felt as though you didn't, I want to reaffirm the reality that you do. You are an incredible individual, somebody who has an ability to accomplish what it is that you envision up there. So please, if I could make that point, that you have it in you to make changes, not only in your life, but in the lives of others. So I want you to enjoy your week ahead. Okay, everybody? I want you to enjoy the next several weeks until we have our next guest, which will be episode 151. We're going to keep this up for a couple weeks and want to remind you all, if you want to get in touch with us, email us over at the subjective perspective at gmail.com or beawokeent. So it's BEAWOKEENT at gmail.com. All of this is up on our web pages at beawoke.com and beawoke.com/TSP will bring you right to our main page of the Subjective Perspective Show. You can link to all of our social media there, link up to our Instagram, YouTube pages, Facebook pages, Twitter pages, all the good stuff. Stay linked to us because we want you to stay inspired. And we hope that you go into your weekend a bit more thoughtful with the subjective perspective. Don't ever forget, you're the reason we do this, every one of you. hearing your feedback, recognizing that you're digging what we're doing. We'll catch you in a couple weeks. What I'll do is give a nice little outro here, and I'll see if I can air this piece. Here we go.
The Subjective Perspective Show. Season 7 has made its way. Sit back and enjoy the show.
Ciao for now, everybody. We'll catch you all in a couple weeks. Don't ever forget, you are the individual that you've been seeking. It's all in you. You keep on working hard, okay? And these things they call dreams will become the reality that you live amongst. Irrefutably. It takes a whole lot of hard work. It'll take a little time, but you'll get there. Catch you all in about 3 weeks or so. The Subjective Perspective Show signing off and hoping that you go into your week a bit more thoughtful with a subjective perspective. 1.